Welcome, Pisces. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a new moon in Taurus reading for you, active on the 15th or the 16th, depending on where you are in the world in May. The astrological energy that is inspiring this reading is Mars joined to Chiron, the planet of the wounded healer. Mars being our passion, our physical energy, our power, our bravery to face our fears, face the wounds, face the injustice, the ill treatment we received, the unfairness that we've experienced, and to address that as holistically from a place of our own wholeness that includes the range of our experience as possible. This can also be about the kind of anger and frustration that is being expressed by a public, by a citizenry that is frustrated with the injustice, the inequity that exists. And that is something many of you can feel is palpable in the social climate. So for most of you, particularly for those of you that have Pisces rising, this new moon energy in Taurus is going to be spotlighting your communication, your desire and ability to learn, to share information, and to do that in a way that meets the needs of others. This is a gift you have uniquely to understand what information, like a good teacher, your students or your audience or your collaborators are ready to hear, and challenges they are ready to face incrementally. So I pulled from the Wild Unknown archetype, the desert, and I'm going to read a little bit about the desert. The desert leaves us disoriented, desperate for direction, grasping for meaning, longing for solid ground. For endless miles, we're confronted with a lack of clarity and existential dread. We're thirsty, hungry, pleading with life to get back to normal, to become animated by the simple pleasantries of day-to-day life. The desert offers no such comfort. The desert, knowing you will someday, if you can embrace the discomfort of the desert, knowing you will someday reach water again, you can tap into the potent energy of the landscape. Its lights are blindingly bright and its darks terrifyingly deep, which makes for unbridled creativity and clairvoyant visions. Truths reside in the desert that otherwise would remain hidden. The crows, the shadows, and the coyotes' call surround you. Let the winds and sands work their deep magic. The desert is absolutely alive and pulsing with energy despite its appearance. And for those of you that have experienced the desert or live in the desert, that is one of the magical revelations of that landscape, is how dense it is with life. Some of that life is minutia, is very small and intense, but there is a symbiosis and an ecology that exists very much dependent on one another's species. Central to that often being the cactus, which is the house of water, the reservoir of water, which communities of plants, insects, birds feed on and make their home. This is coupled with surrender. I can release my need to control. And I really like this because there is an aspect of the social environment in general that I mentioned earlier that I do believe that you are feeling uniquely tasked to address. For many of you, it's through your work. It's how the change in the social environment is impacting your ability to provide the services or products that you do. and your desire to make some kind of an informational bridge for your audiences, your clients, your students, to better understand and utilize what resources are available in this climate. In the present, the Judgment card. This feels like a redo in this particular moment. You've certainly made a decision about something, a momentous decision about something that feeds into the basis for your gift, your mission, your service, your purpose. And so this may be a way that you are evaluating different kinds of environments as being appropriate for services that you give, or better environments that could be more receptive to the work that you do. That is what's coming to me. It can mean returning to a place where you had fair success, perhaps in another position or another job, or at another time you had good experiences in an environment that you're now considering relocating to for the assignment that you are particularly working on. In the past, the Ace of Swords. Of course, this always is about truth and the pursuit of that truth, justice as you understand it, but ultimately it is an illumination. And because the desert has shown up as this desolate environment, I believe that part of the truth, part of the justice you're pursuing is in relationship to the earth. An earth that, despite its many lush and beautiful, bountiful landscapes, like the desert, is being depleted by humankind. And some work that you're doing is the result of an illumination about our relationship to the planet or to a particular environment. This environment can literally be human beings themselves. You may understand or know of or exercise a healing modality that is useful to human beings, their physical bodies, as an example. You can be a fashionista, a designer that designs human environments or clothing for individuals. These are all unconventional forms of healing. And we are thinking more and more about the healing aspects of our footprint on the planet, right? Everything we do can be a resourceful way of sustaining and not harming, not depleting, not extracting from the planet in a way that cannot be replenished. In the future is the Hermit card. It seems to me that you are working more and more as part of an organization, but with greater and greater independence. That is how your skill set and your work is developing. I do feel that as you contemplate other locations, if that is the case, or other positions within an organization, that you are needing this time to retract, pull back from your environment, to really look within yourself, to establish your own learning, place to reconnect with your own teachers and mentors, looking for answers on your own terms. This is almost like an inward scholar, but this is to the specific reason of healing self. And it makes a lot of sense if your work particularly has to do with healing the environment, the planet, human beings, that source that you are facing is yourself. The wounds that you recognize you carry are the ones that you're seeking to heal, and that is the source of the healing that you can perform for others. Pisces, if this reading is resonating for you, please like this video. Share this with others if you feel inclined to do so. Subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I greatly value your presence here, and however you help and support me in whatever way that is. So I'm going to clarify the Ace of Swords here with a couple of cards. And I have pulled the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups, the Judgment card, two cards for the Judgment, the Empress, and the Five of Cups, and the Hermit card. Two cards, please. The Sun and the Hermit again on the top. Definitely going to keep that Eight of Cups too. Okay, so we'll sort this out as we go. So we have the past, the Ace of Swords, this revelation of truth and justice that is relevant to your calling, to your mission, your purpose. The Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups embody, I think they embody qualities within you, but they also look like a positive partnership to me. A partnership of personal, romantic, business, related to your working environment, a way that you spur each other on to the larger truth that you're working towards. So the Queen of Swords is about that challenging energy. Again, this can be within you. That energy that needs to understand the mechanics of something, the science behind it, that needs answers that fit into the world, that excoriate some kind of a truth. The Queen of Cups is about this passion and compassion to heal, to care for, to tend, to nurture. So this understanding of the damage we are doing and this desire to replenish the environment are the two threads that are informing this desire to be of service in some way to communities or the earth itself. And of course, you can't do one without the other, correct? But there's also a relationship, a partnership potential here that can be about your mentorship or your professional support. In the present, the Judgment card is clarified by the Empress and the Five of Cups. How very interesting. So I definitely see you reviewing some kind of a wound or a challenge or disappointment or failure, and a pattern as such has emerged to you. You now understand a role that you've played or a proximity to some kind of trauma or abuse that has marked you, scarred you, but that you have successively, perhaps unwittingly, unconsciously, chosen that over and over again because it was a pattern you saw, you were exposed to. It's the way you learned about love. And so in offering love, you're actually, or can quite possibly be, repeating a story of non-reciprocality, conditionality around love. And that obviously has continually ended in failure, but you recognize the pattern that is within you. And your desire to then turn to this relationship to self really rests on a way that you release some of your illusions about love. And in some ways, this feels as though there is a reconnection for you. It's becoming clear that you are elevating yourself to the beloved. so that you are realizing your own value as understood by you. And because you recognize your worthiness, you are no longer willing or able to accept or approach a relationship or an opportunity on the terms that you have in the past. There's implicit in the Empress a kind of equity, equality, a mediation of energies so that they're balanced, they are fair. Uh, Productivity is focused upon, but this also emphasizes the ability to receive and be recognized, the rewards that you have earned, rather than just being the one who is producing the results and quite possibly not receiving credit for it. So you have really retooled this whole sense of who you are in relationships, and you're really not willing, you're more cautious about re-entering an old pattern or a person that hasn't changed in ways that you have. So this can quite possibly be a renewal or at least a reconsideration. And in the future, the Hermit card is clarified by the Sun, which is your right to be you, your joy in being you, the way that you come into any environment and uplift the room with joy, that your sheer pleasure in enjoying the fruits of the earth, the bounty of the universe, translates in a way that allows you to feel accomplished. But on the basis of that, you understand that the relationships that you have been surrounded with have given you what you need, have supported you as far as they can go. And it's time for you to embrace a new challenge, something that is extremely significant, that you identify with, that defines you, that you want your life to be linked to. And so this represents a bigger challenge that you have been preparing for, you've been healing for. You've been consulting your own wisdom, your own advisement, your own inner guides and teachers, perhaps reconnecting with a teacher or a mentor who has guided you in the past. But you are using that to establish your own authority in moving to a new location, a new position, a new enterprise, a new project altogether that allows you to more effectively accomplish what it is you're going for here. These cards are so lovely. I want them to be seen. So beautiful, Pisces. I'm going to finish this reading with a flower oracle and hope that this has been helpful. And I pulled the African violet, spirituality. It's time to connect with what you believe. I am so pleased that some of you are going to the motherland. I wish you all the best. What an exciting time to be there. Until next time, namaste.